guys? Welcome to Para-Ops Paranormal Open-Minded Paranormal Skeptics. I'm your host, Sky. Tonight we do not have Laurissa and Marlena with us, and there's technically no special guests. However, we have Alan, he's a special guest technically, but he's part of the team.
Thanks.
And we also have Keith.
Oh.
What are we doing over there?
Never mind.
All right, Alan, introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alan Rex, co-founder of P.A.R.A. Permanent Area Research Alliance. On the team, I am the lead investigator for Alpha Team. I also am equipment guru, making sure everybody on the team is taken care of. With Third Eye Events Productions, I'm operations manager, making sure our team is on point when we're doing tours out there and events. Been doing this 3 years since we implemented the group. Marine Corps veteran, father of 4, and I have a day job for 25 years.
Good. There's his autobiography, guys.
There you go. In a nutshell, the Cliff Note version.
Keith, you want to give a little introduction to you?
I'll try to summarize. Met these wonderful people by chance, became affiliated with them through our combined desire to explore the paranormal, and to do it truthfully and to present evidence that even if we're not sure it's evidence, we can present it and say, what does everybody else think? I think with the rash of paranormal TV shows and everything else, oh, did you hear this noise? Did you hear this noise? No, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you were saying, but the fact that you put it on the screen in front of me just suggested to me what you said you thought you heard. So I am a evidence review tech for the team. I operate SOS. I operate a lot of equipment. I have a lot of years of experience. I like the crew I'm with. It's legit, it's honest, it's real, or I would not be with this group. So just looking for more opportunities to explore, to investigate.
Awesome. All right, viewers. So these two guys are the ones that if you have complaints about our evidence, take it up with them. We blame them.
Yeah, give it to us. We got broad shoulders. It's all good. You know, it's a very time-consuming job. That is for sure. I know, Keith. Sometimes we both find the struggle real with getting time to do it, especially now that it's getting nice out. Home projects, little vacations. Just burned out with work sometimes. It's really tough, and Keith and I are tag teaming it. Mostly I get the SLS and some of the EVP stuff, but it's still demanding. It's sometimes I spend 3 hours at night till like 10 at night, and I'm just completely wiped out then.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad
if
it's not
you the key to evidence review and analysis is you must be alert, you must be aware. The minute you start blinking, I've said it a million times, I'll say it a million more times. The minute you blink, you may have missed, the greatest evidence ever. So you need to train yourself, not only your eyes and your ears, to review evidence, but also to be realistic enough to say, I need a break, I'm shutting this down. And believe me, I've had enough experiences where there were bits that I thought, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. Put it away, looked at it the next morning, and said, no, wait a minute, that's not what it looked like to me last night. And Alan, yeah, you're nodding, you agree, because the human eyes and the mind and ears and everything can be fooled. And before I'm prepared to put my stamp of approval on any piece of evidence, I'm like, now wait, there's too many areas where this could construed by skeptics as now it was a bug, it was a whatever. And I've dealt with a lot of skeptics, and they're always going to be here. They will always be here, and I think to build legitimacy in a team, you need to show right from the start, we're totally honest and open with this, and what do you think about this? That's why I think this program is fantastic. It's not, we're not putting subtitles down there saying, did you hear that demon just say this? No. Most people would say, no, that was a bird, that was a insect, that was a bat, whatever. So that's my take on that. I stand by my credibility. I stand by my reputation. I really do.
So,
And that's why I'm with this team as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
you bring up a lot of great points. It's tough for me because I was at the investigations. So I sometimes like not being at an investigation and just hearing something wrong. That presents challenges on the opposite effect for you, Keith, where you're not there and you don't know the environment, who was all in the room, if people were talking at the time, things like that. So there's definitely different levels of challenges to go with reviewing the evidence. And real quick, Sky, I want to share a comment because I learned how to do this now.
No, you're not allowed. I'm getting to the comments next. I know there's plenty of people hyping you up in there. I'll bring them up.
I know. I got my crew. We need to get Keith a crew.
All right, well, let's do the comments now.
You guys need to show as much love to Keith because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have this evidence to go through week after week. So thank you, Keith.
Oh, quit it. You're making me blush.
Keith. All right, let's go through the comments quick. We got Casey who agrees. Definitely dedication.
Oh, Casey definitely knows. He's on it too.
Yeah, everybody say hello to Frank.
Hi,
What's up, Frank?
Frank, Mr. Awesome is supposed to be Alan, whatever.
Recognize.
Brandon is in here with some great comments tonight. Don't bring that Yankee drama around here.
Brother Cooper.
Hello. Yes, Alan is here, guys.
They made a mistake inviting me tonight. That's right, Brandon. Semper Fi, brother.
Yeah, you guys Semper Fi right at that camp out.
The big spoon at the camp out. Yeah, okay.
No.
Brandon,
go ahead. We'll play some games.
We'll make sure we have plenty of video up.
If you're viewing from the Third Eye Events page, just throw your name in there like Shane did. Hello, Shane. Thank you for doing that. I don't remember what that comment was towards. Do you guys remember?
Yeah, we were talking about evidence review and, about not being there, things like that, I believe.
Deborah said, thanks, Keith.
Oh, thank you, Deborah.
Frank, thank you, Keith. Thank you guys for acknowledging Keith.
Hey, yeah, Alex, I'm building my posse, man. Watch out.
I know. He puts the pressure on me, though. He's like, I got this and this and this done. I need you to pick up this and this. I'm like, oh, shit, Keith, I'm already on the last investigation. Like, slow down, man. He has me working at midnight.
He's way ahead of you.
He's got the whip going, man.
No. It's during, and Alan, you summed it up. When the sun starts shining, guess what? My evidence review open time really starts to just shrink. It really does. And again, it goes back to what I said. When you do it, you need to sit down and be focused and attentive. And if you feel that you're not in that mood, well, then don't look at your evidence because you very well could miss something.
Brandon, you can't handle the truth. Let me tell you.
It's all fake evidence.
Don't get me started, Mr. Cooper. So what do we got today, Sky? What are we doing today? Are we just talking about evidence review or are we doing something?
No, but you guys get to talk about evidence review to go with our evidence review. We have 2 EVPs and a little bell jar movement, and I brought the bell jar movement on just so you guys can elaborate and explain to our viewers how that works and why it may be moving.
Yeah.
But I I got 2 EVPs, so we'll start with those. One of them, the first one we're going to do is with Team A from Friday the 13th Hell House when Daryl Marston was with us.
Wait, that's my team, by the way. Team Awesome.
Team, yeah,
Alpha.
no. It's only
Alpha.
Team Awesome because you have Laurissa.
Team Awesome. I didn't have her that night, remember? She was roaming.
She was floating.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yep, she was a floater. Yep.
Okay, well, then you get to explain this after I play it.
All right.
If you remember what it was.
Thanks. And Mr. Casey was there with us, so that's where we met
So
Casey.
Casey, you can put your input. All right, so this one, it's like 3 seconds in, I think, if I recall. And it's a response to something that Laurissa asked. You guys ready?
I'm going to put on headphones.
Well, let me change.
Are you ready?
Oh. He's good now.
Mine are downstairs.
Do you know Robbie? Do you know Robbie? Do you know Robbie?
Did you hear it?
Oh, yeah.
I don't have headphones on. They're downstairs.
So you
What
didn't
is
hear
that?
it because you don't have your headphones?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sky, what
All
I
right.
heard, and I was the one to pick this up, it's about I'm ballparking, I don't have a timer in front of me. It was about 5 seconds in, and she said, "Are you Robbie?" And all I heard was "here." It could have been something else, but I heard a clear "here" or "yes." It wasn't a yes, it was
I
like a
thought
"here."
I had heard yeah.
Yeah, okay.
What are people watching here?
Brandon is on Team Shiny Head. That's Keith. Team Keith.
Shiny head. Oh, all right.
He's a
We call
jarhead. He can't come up with nothing more creative. Give him a break, Keith.
All right.
You thought you heard
Casey,
yeah as well? Someone heard I'm here? Okay.
Deborah heard yeah.
I think we reviewed that evidence before we kind of put a couple seconds before and after to hear the context to let it go out a little bit longer. I find myself that I can pick up the EVPs better if it's a little longer of a clip and not such a short clip because I'm listening too hard for it. You know what I mean?
There, Frank, I heard here.
I probably have to agree with you because when it's a little bit longer, it gives you more time to hear too.
Yeah, and my ears are more relaxed. Like I hear it naturally then. But
yeah, rather than anticipating.
Yeah, I remember looking through what Keith captured, and I remember that one. It's a definite catch. No one here, everybody that I had on my team that night for Team Awesome was very disciplined. Casey was on there, and he can attest to it. Like during EVP sessions and questioning, everybody was respectful and kept quiet because there were a lot of rental packages out there of EVPs and personal EVPs where people were wanting to catch stuff. So I can vouch that's not somebody that was in the room.
Yeah, and with my experience, EVPs generally are either going to be kind of a muffled voice, a distorted voice, just something that just doesn't sound. It sounds out of place. Where if it was a person talking, a whisper, you probably could be able to pick that up. Just another thing I always look for is it just didn't sound like it was in its right place.
Yeah. Oh shit, there's two of her. Oh, there we go.
She cloned.
All right.
That's a solar power head for a
I don't
machine.
Brandon must be hitting the bottle or something. Hey, dude, stay
You.
off the
What
Mad
is
Dog
he
2020.
talking
Wait,
about?
you did say he's fellow Marine, right?
Yeah, he's probably hitting the Mad Dog from 1990.
Okay. All right. No.
Casey asked if you remember where you were for that. If you answered it when my Wi-Fi was being weird, I'm sorry.
I don't. That's why a little more context would have been good because Robbie's usually up in Paul's room, but
Yeah.
he has been following us around in other parts of the house. So it's really hard to tell. All good, Brandon. We know you're messing around, buddy. So we
Shane
think that
also
one.
likes.
So we think that one's paranormal. You want to play it again?
Yeah, I'll play it again. Hold on, I gotta scroll to the bottom. I see your ear all close.
Trying to.
There we go.
Tina, Robbie. Tina, Robbie. Tina, Robbie.
Yeah, I heard here. Yeah, Casey, you better check yourself. Get back there. You're slipping, buddy.
That's the other part of this is just the whole we're all humans and our nature is to try to figure things out. So if
Yeah.
you hear something originally and you're like, "Oh my God, it just said," "Am I on Sky? Can you hear me?"
Yeah.
Okay, you're giving me that mime look again. Um, that's why a lot of times I think it's important if you think you find something, notate it, put it down, look at it the next day, maybe when you're not so tired. No, we lost her. There she is. Hello.
That's okay. So, Keith, what do you use to review the evidence? What programs?
The simplest one that I have found, if you're talking like EVPs, go with Audacity, Audacity. It's a free download. It's actually very thorough. If you want to spend money, you can get into the high tech ones, but the only problem with that is unless you have a year or two to train yourself on how to be a sound engineer, you're not going to figure out how to use the thing. Audacity is cool because if you have a video clip, you can also download that into Audacity and just pull the audio out of it
Audio.
to isolate it. So it is just for a beginner, and believe me, I'm not a sound or audio engineer or anything. Everything has been self taught and trained through a lot of effort. Believe me, if you get into any advanced programs, you had better be a sound engineer or an audio engineer, or you're going to be like, I have no idea what this stuff's talking about.
See,
So
I go in and use NCH suite. Is that WavePad? Dennis, I see you mentioned WavePad. Is that the same thing? I can't remember.
again, your basic programs are going to allow people like us who, yeah, we didn't go to audio engineer school. It's going to allow us a chance to learn how to use it so that we can isolate things. Yeah, it's not going to have all the functions like the TV shows where they have an audio engineer on there, and I'm going to isolate this. I have a program to do that, and I still haven't figured out how to use the thing.
Yeah, I like
So
NCH. It's like $13 a month, but it has all those functions on it. Yeah, I only use a few of them, but like the amplifying at certain points really does help.
but
If the SLS is soft, it helps to
another
amplify.
another key point though, and talking from trying to not give skeptics evidence, you really should do as little as possible to the raw files. Your raw files, you should save those as raw files. And if you do any alterations to them, it amplify it, noise reduction, whatever, then you should label it as such and present it as such. Like, listen, I went in and I amplified this, I cut down some noise. Because if you present this to skeptics, they're going to say, "Where's the original file?"
Yeah.
I amplified this. Well, right there, you just altered it.
Hmm.
So you have to honestly, you have to outthink the skeptics. And unfortunately, a lot of the evidence, some of the best EVPs I have that are like 1 inch away from being true, like, oh my God, this is an intelligent response. I couldn't get it because I don't have the software, I don't have the training to even, clean it up further. But what I do is I throw that in a what if file and I present that to people and I say, hey, I'm not sure about this. What do you think?
Hmm. Yeah, I
So,
know. Sometimes I use the amplify just to hear it, to see if I hear it or not. But I don't do like the noise reduction or background noise stuff. I don't do any of that. But I like the NCH suite because it's easy for me to trim stuff and save the files real quick. And it's great because I can do it with the SLS footage too. It uploads it fairly quick, and it's easy peasy.
there are a lot of good programs out there that basically do the same thing. It's just a person's comfort level with working with a different software package. You might like NCH. I'm like, yeah, okay, Audacity's kind of cool. So there's no like golden. You
Yep.
have to use this program or else.
Yeah. See, I tried Audacity in the beginning, and I didn't care for it. Even got the paid version of it, and I just like, I found it too complicated. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. But it's to each their own. It's what you're used to.
Exactly. Like none of us know 100% about paranormal. It's the same thing when you're talking about the equipment. Um, and it's really that simple. You go with what's you're comfortable with, what you can use to give you clips, files that um, here we have had skeptics. Noise reduction is one of the few I don't get challenged with. Noise reduction, you have to be careful anytime you apply these filters and these applications because it will manipulate the file. And again, you need to use everything very sparingly
Yep.
because skeptics will just destroy it.
Yeah. You know what I found to be when we do the tours at Hell House, um, or whatever, Interstate Paranormal just came through on Saturday night. They killed it in Hell House. They got a ton of stuff, things that we've gotten and they've confirmed. However, they made a very great point, Tony and his team. The one noise disturbance there that bothers me is sometimes the traffic on the highway.
No,
It seems to be
Yeah.
something in every location. We had that in Angus Mall. Um, it depends where you're at, but I'll take that over teams interfering with each other and having that type of noise disturbance. I can dictate a car
hey,
compared
Dr.
to
Ken.
another. Hey, Dr. Ken, what's up, brother?
Hello.
Another Marine Corps brother. You gonna pick on him, Sky?
I didn't pick on Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're picking on me
Brandon
because
picks
I'm
on
Army
me.
vet.
Brandon picks on me. I don't pick on Brandon.
I know he's good at it too. He was trained well.
Are you guys ready for the next EVP?
Yeah,
Just
yeah. Let's
just
hear it.
real quick, Sky, real quick. Alan, you brought up a great
Okay.
point because anybody who has gone to Penhurst, you know about the jet traffic that goes overhead, and you're thinking you're catching something, and the next thing you knew, you hear this roar, and it's like, well, there's another jet taking off. So
Yep.
yeah, the external noises that you can't control, it definitely, even if you catch a clip of you think somebody talking, but then you hear a jet taking off or flying overhead, you cannot count it because it's contaminated.
Yep. Yep. That's true. Dennis is a Marine Corps vet also. Just saying. Hey, I want the purple crayon, Dr. Ken,
I mean, at least he spelled it right.
or the orange one.
All right, can we get into some evidence review, please?
Yeah.
Keith, are you coming out with us to um, the charity event at USS Salem in Quincy, Massachusetts?
No.
July 1st.
When was it?
July 1st, when we do our charity event.
Alan, my friend, I will be in Deutschland.
Oh, that's right. You miss a chance of meeting Dr. Ken, who's coming in from California.
And
Dennis is
Dennis
one of the hosting teams up there. Yep.
That's what I
and
said when you guys gave
the
me the dates, and
knucklehead.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah. Well, whatever. I'll be in Germany seeing family and hopefully be in an old castle or two and
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
see what I can pick up.
Hey,
take your
you
EVP.
know what I told him, Sky? I'm gonna
Hmm.
get him a laptop with evidence download on it, and he can listen to it on the flight over.
Yeah.
It'll
That's
pass
a
the
good way to
time.
spend the flight.
I've flown over the Pacific. I've never flown over the Atlantic. And yeah, the Pacific didn't bother me really. Um, d- no, it's Deutsch, Deutschland. Dr. Ken, come on. Oh, jeez. This is a losing battle now. I mean, come on. Get some Army vets on here, and then we can, we'll throw it back here. But that's a
We're
nice thing. At
missing
least Army
Laurissa.
vets can spell, huh?
Off the rails. That's right, Casey.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my gosh.
All right, let's hear the second
So
one, Sky. Come on, you're dragging your feet.
yeah.
Control us.
All right. It's fine. Wait, why is that back up? Did you put that up there?
I didn't touch anything this time. You shouldn't teach me how to work this stuff.
I I need that. I need that there. Don't take that down yet. Okay. So our second evidence clip is from Team C with Marlena. It's an SLS clip. She was talking with the magician in the attic of Hell House, and you get a response on the SLS camera, but it's EVP.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
I don't hear anything.
Yeah, there's no sound.
That was a great EVP. I heard it.
What do you mean?
No,
That's
there's
your
no sound.
imagination, Alan. That's your imagination.
The
Did
beer
the image
talking.
show
Yeah,
up on
there's no
your end?
sound.
Because it didn't show up
The,
on mine.
the image showed up, yeah, but no volume.
I didn't get anything.
Try it
I'm
again.
gonna try one more time.
No, no volume, Sky.
No.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't either. I checked everything earlier today. All right.
Try the next one.
Well, it's all right. We'll skip that one. No, don't show the other ones. Don't do that.
So what was impressive that night is we had 3 teams in that house and 3 roamers, and everybody was just courteous of each other. It went really well. Um, I couldn't be happier of an event that we had at Hell House. Like seriously, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was a good
That's.
event.
I'm sorry. What's that, Sky?
I said it was a really good event.
Besides being cold,
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Beyond cold. Yeah.
what was it 18 or something out that night? It was freezing.
Uh, when we were in the attic, we were trying to debunk noises because the wind was blowing, and yet when you're in an environment where it was that cold, and yet you feel something even colder, like come up close to you, and I'm like, am I the only one? That's my memory, especially in the attic. I'm like, am I the only one here? If it's like colder than it is outside, and I remember I was putting my hand up on the ceiling, and I said, this is cold, but it's colder like right out in front of me. And Marlena was standing beside me, and she said, I feel it. I feel it. So, cold spots, dark spots, anything like that, to try to pull people's attention in. But I'm like, this just makes no sense whatsoever.
So people know about me. I had no senses. That's why Frank calls me Mr. Awesome, because I just go on intuition. But I try to debunk everything. So one thing you need to be aware of up in the attic is the one window is out and it has just a rag hanging over it. So you
Oh,
got to check to see if that's moving or not. So
we were totally, and Daryl was standing beside me, and actually Daryl, it was me, Daryl, and Marlena, and Daryl even said, "Yeah, I'm feeling this. It's like colder here."
yeah,
And Marlena just kept saying, "It's colder here. It's colder here," and she was absolutely right. I felt it. So I think it's kind of like when you hear people say it's darker than dark.
hmm
Like when you look down a hallway and you're like, I think I saw this shadow, and it was just like darker than dark. It was kind of the same. It was colder than cold, if
Hmm.
that makes any sense.
makes sense.
And
Yeah.
three of us standing right beside each other felt the same thing, and we saw that window. I know exactly the window you're talking about. The wind was blowing. It was flapping. This wasn't just like air flowing. This was like a concentrated ball of cold, and it was, to this day, I still, that was probably the most fascinating thing from that night that I experienced down there, because I'm trying to figure it out, like how can this happen?
Uh,
I'm not a meteorologist, I'm whatever, but
yeah, I think everybody had great experiences that night. I mean, we were in Paul's room and we heard the the noise. Everybody heard it live in between two of the guests. So it was just insane. What we got next, Sky?
Well, before we move on, I know that we couldn't hear the EVP, but maybe one of you that reviewed it can at least touch base on it. It was the magician. Marlena was saying, and you were with her, Keith, right?
yeah,
Okay. So she was
honest
saying
honest
that she was asking if she was allowed up there, and the magician responded in like a very raspy yeah voice.
you're catching me off guard here. I probably somewhere back in my notes.
Ooh.
Okay, it's probably somewhere in there. I honestly, there were EVPs that I'm like, I'm not sure if this is. I would have to look. There's not enough time. I'd have to look back through.
Well, did
Um,
you do the SLS clips or did I? I think I did the SLS clips.
Probably if there was a, yeah, if there was a file issue that we've had.
Yeah.
But even there, EVP, um,
hmm
and that's a crazy thing. Some things are caught in SLS and they're not caught on an electronic voice recorder, and vice versa. So yeah, it's just even more mind-boggling when you look at that. It's like, well, how did this piece of equipment pick this up? And everybody says, "My God, I hear that. I hear what it says." And then another piece of equipment right beside it, it doesn't pick it up. So, and they all work because we check everything before we go out. Um,
Hmm.
so I don't know.
Hi,
Yeah, I
Laurissa. She loves the notes, Keith.
yeah, she likes your notes, Keith.
You got a whole notebook. How many of those do you have filled with notes?
Try keeping track of them. Seriously.
Yeah,
Um,
I just hear it and I clip it. I don't. I commend you for having a notebook there.
well, I'm not even. Yeah, I've got notes from. Yeah, wow. That was one of the things when I first got into this and was officially trained. Notebook, log everything, put where the time, the date, stamp everything on paper, because when you're looking
Hmm.
back through a clip 2 years later and you're trying to show somebody, and you're like, man, I forget what happened there. You look back through your notes and there it is. You can easily pull it up. You can describe what happened, the situation. Um, yeah, notes are cool. Again, it's just trying to make all of this sync to back up your evidence. Keith, I find a lot
Oh, sorry, Keith.
of
Basically saying that one device
yeah, I
catches
was
it and
trying.
the other
I
doesn't.
find
Yeah.
that a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's the other mystery and enigma of paranormal evidence. You're like, how could we hear this and it wasn't picked up on a recorder, or we didn't hear it and then it was vice versa. So again, it goes back to the whole challenge of trying to cover your bases and say, well, this is what I got. I'm not 100% sure about it, but this is what I have. Besides a shiny head.
Solar
Team
panel.
Shiny Head. What was he talking about with the solar power?
This is a
That one's going to
shiny
stick with me.
thing. When you see Brandon Cooper, he's joining us for an investigation in June that you're coming to, Keith. So you'll get to meet him.
Okay. Well, maybe we can bump shiny heads.
Oh man,
Did I get cut off? Son of a bitch.
look at Casey like
You
stepping it
just
up
lose
with
me.
like an Excel
There, you see
spreadsheet
me?
and all this. Casey, that's impressive. Let me tell you. You know what? That's a pretty great idea, though. Having something.
Log everything.
Yeah, and paper's cool, but sometimes you start scribbling, you can't read your own damn writing, but typing it on a like an Excel file and then comparing like different pieces of your evidence that you're gathering.
Come up with your own just simple spreadsheet, date, time, location, description. Was it audio, video? We keep getting cut off here. Do you guys got me here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it makes it so much easier, and then keep each case file, team A, team B, team C, whatever you're doing, EVPs, EVR, SOS. It makes it so much easier than when you try to go back and pull information up. And like I said, 2 months down the road, if we've had a busy season, you may have forgotten. Oh, I forgot all about that.
Yep. You know what I love too is when Larissa is in there doing her thing and she says, "I just heard that. Did anybody hear it?" Most of the time, people don't. We have been lately because I have a theory behind that. But you know, listening back on the FLS or the recordings, sure as shit, you get the EVP right there. It is.
Hmm.
It's amazing. I think she's the
Okay.
conduit. I really do. I know we've made fun of that term in the past, but I think she can enhance senses of people who might not be able to. I think
Hmm.
it just helps. I don't know what it is.
Is that your theory behind why you're starting to hear what she hears and other people are?
I think so. I mean, normally, I've been told I don't listen for crap, but you know, that's on a different level. But um, during investigations, I'm starting to hear stuff. Yeah,
Well,
or I
that
might be
that's a
more in tune to it and aware. You know what I mean? Like
that's a
different.
Mhm.
theory with paranormal researchers. Even if you feel you have no abilities, the more you do it because you're so focused and tuned in, you're opening parts of your brain. I think it's beta waves is actually what it's
Yeah,
uh, technically called.
and
Um,
I think it's really hard sometimes, Keith. And I'm sorry to cut you off. Like when you're operating the equipment and like
oh
getting stuff
yeah,
for people, you're distracted.
yeah.
Especially with the SLX. But I become more relaxed with it because of doing it so long that it gives me a chance maybe to do that other stuff that I might not have been able to do in the beginning.
Well, and it goes back again to the more people, uh, I think, varied people, females, males, not trying to get into gender, anything, whatever. I don't care. But there could be a spirit there that wants to talk to somebody. They look at me and they're like, I'm not talking to that shiny headed dude. They look at you and they
Mhm.
say, well, I'm not talking to this jarhead. Okay. They look at Sky and say, oh, she's cute. I want to talk to her. So that's where, again, I think even if we're building our abilities, um, there's just, we have no clue. We have absolutely no clue. So the
Yeah.
more the merrier in my humble outlook. Uh, it's worked for me over the years, and I think it's working. You very well could be picking up abilities on your own just because spirits are like, hey, this guy's look at me. He sees me. He wants to talk to me.
Mhm.
And that's also a thing though that I just want to bring up very quickly. That's where it's important for protection, self protection. For people that think this is just a game, a joke, whatever. No, you need to take this seriously and protect yourself because you have no idea who's on the other line of the phone that just picked up and wants to talk to you. And I think that's one of the
Yeah.
most important things that any investigator needs to just keep in mind. So,
Do you think they pick up on your thoughts? Like, if you're open to receiving things from them. Like, say you or Alan, you're just standing there, and in your head, you're like, oh, it'd be really cool if somebody would, come say hi, talk to me in my ear, and then you hear something.
yeah, that's actually happened to me. The first time I just about jumped out of my freaking boots, but then I'm like, wait a minute. I just tried to make contact and something tried to make contact with me. Again, I don't claim to be a psychic medium. I'm not. I think we all have
Mhm.
abilities. And I think from the past, we all had very powerful abilities to tune into nature, spiritual, whatever. And we've just all forgotten how to pick that up, except for the special few like Laurissa, you, Marlena, who do have definite abilities. So I think
Mhm.
it's just more fine tuning and trying to train our minds back to, just opening up and being like, hey, listen, I just want to talk to you. And having a pure, simple, good heart, where they can feel your energy and they know that I'm doing this out of goodness. If I can help you, I will help you however way I can. You're sending out good vibes, good energy. The law of
Mhm.
attraction is simple. Anyone who wants to investigate the paranormal, investigate the law of attraction, and it's that simple.
Yeah, I agree. You
Self
go in there
protection.
thinking positively.
I'm sorry, I was trying to read that.
Yeah, I know.
Slippery
See,
slope for a.
see, for me, I go in open-minded. Like I'm skeptical every place we go into.
Hmm.
I really am. Like I need to see what's going on with the psychics on the team or those with sensitivities, and I need the equipment to corroborate it. If there's no readings on equipment, then to me it's hearsay. It really is. But I go in open-minded, skeptic in the places because just because someone else had an experience doesn't mean you're going to have that experience. I guess I don't want to go in with preconceived notions that this and this is going to happen. I want whatever's going to happen to happen.
It's a very healthy attitude, and it's a smart attitude. And again, just looking at it from a skeptic's point of view, it's healthy. You're logical. You're trying to lay out the crazy thing. A lot of scientists, if you try to lay out the scientific method in paranormal research, good luck with that. That's creating a hypothesis, running experiments, repeating that experiment. There you go. We proved that this works. Good luck with that in paranormal research, which all of us can say if somebody doesn't want to talk to you, they aren't going to talk to you.
Well, it's not a dog and pony show. They're not going to communicate with you on command. You got to go in having the respect. We've been to
Mhm.
places where we've had no activity, none. And that's just the way it was. It's not, we don't rule out that there's stuff there. It's just that night, maybe they didn't get a good vibe from us. They didn't want to communicate with us, whatever reason. Um, so it's really, like you said, it's your attitude going into it, and um, trying to be personal and relate, because, there are people.
Yeah, exactly, Alan. And that's how I was, it's like I think of all uh, the people on this planet that, are suffering and whatever. And then I stop sometimes and I think, what if it's somebody who passed away? Either they're stuck here or they don't
Mhm.
know they passed away.
Right.
That breaks my heart because it's like, well, who's there to help them? And I'm not trying to look at this from a religious standpoint, but if you look at, purgatory, I mean, is it something like that? There's so much we don't know, but I believe that true paranormal investigators who have just goodness in their heart and want to help, whether it be the living or somebody, that's why I got into this. And then to investigate and fulfill my passion to explore the unknown. So, um, I don't know.
Yeah. And Deb made a great point. It's their space, not ours.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
we're their guests. So, very great point. It's funny, people in this field, sometimes they're nicer to the dead than they are to the living.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, try to keep a positive outlook. You know, if something happens with somebody, have some compassion. We're all human. Everybody makes mistakes. There's no reason to out somebody and blast them. It's basic human decency and being humble, and, seeking to understand why someone may do something, and privacy. You know, talk to people directly. I think we lost that in society with social media, and it's a shame.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. But
Guy,
I
play our
think,
second clip.
I'm gonna play the. Hold on, where is it? The bell jar, so you guys can explain how it works.
Ooh, the bell jar. Yeah. Okay. So the bell jar. We got that bell jar, I think, from England. We sent away for it. And basically what it is, it's copper wire running off terminals that are connected to uh, two AA batteries inside a little box, a little cylinder. So when it comes around, it shoots up and creates a loop on each side. In between those loops is a space. Also, in between that space is another piece of copper. So this copper is not touching anything from the electricity. Those are the other loops coming out of the battery. So the theory is that something needs to make these two loops swing to hit that copper wire. So copper on copper. The great part about the bell jar is completely enclosed, so it cannot be influenced by anything, as far as wind. It could be affected by vibration still if someone's close enough to it. But that's the theory. So it's to connect the copper, or to move that, to have enough energy to move it to touch that middle copper wire that's coming up between the other two. So when it does, it'll set off the light bulb.
Okay.
And
So for this,
yeah, I found out today that the glass jar broke again on it. So
ugh,
oh no,
don't know how. It's so frustrating.
that's a
But
shame.
it's a cool piece of equipment. It really is. Um, I have nothing bad to say about it. It's kind of the theory along the lines of, turning a flashlight.
Hmm.
You have energy to do that connectivity. It's the same thing with that copper.
So
Alright,
for
well,
that particular clip, what do you think caused it to move?
I'd have to see more of the
I
clip.
know I know there was another clip where there was no movement just to show the difference, and I should have uploaded it so that we could see too. I didn't think to do it though. So in the beginning, I was watching the clips. In the beginning there was no movement at all. And then a couple of other clips it was moving. But I noticed in the left in the back there was somebody standing there. So I was curious as to if somebody had walked by and made it move from the vibration of.
Yeah. Was it from a field camera? You got it from a trail camera? It was 15 seconds, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was from the trail camera.
yeah,
Unless I was there, um, to me, I rule out paranormal because it could be somebody walking by, just hitting that board enough, maybe gracing something next to it and bumping it a little. I mean, you don't see it really shake, but you could have any number of things could have happened to it.
mhm,
Yeah.
That's why I prefer to see it in a space where nobody is, just
mhm.
have a camera on it, see what it does, or doing it live and not having anybody around it.
Hmm.
So to
I'm
me,
gonna play it
I would
again.
rule that out as probably not paranormal.
I
I'm
agree.
skeptic.
Keith, what do you think?
I'm the one that captured that, or picked up on that,
Hmm.
because that trail cam was pointing at that bell jar pretty much the whole time. And once I saw that clip, I went back and I'm like, wait a minute, let me watch people walk by. Maybe did somebody bump the table, whatever. And I did not find that. So that's when I showed the clip, or had the clip first, where there was no movement, but it looked like there were people up
Hmm.
there. And then there was the movement when it looked like people were up there. Now, again, it's kind of one of these who knows, because the vibration factor, if somebody hit a floorboard 2 rooms away and it just so happened to hit a floor joist and vibrate enough, yeah, again, it's interesting. I just found it very curious when I saw it. I'm like, that, why is that moving inside there?
Hmm.
It should not be doing that
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
setting everything else off, or causing another reaction. So yeah, there, especially when you're talking older buildings, there are just so many variables. The framing of the place, if the wind's blowing, uh,
Well, the wind blowing won't hit it. Um,
no, but
but
I'm saying if the wind hits the outside of the structure hard enough, I mean, it can create
it could shake
infrasound,
it. Yeah.
which can actually create a little bit of vibration. So
Yeah.
again, it's way out of my scientific knowledge, but I just found it was interesting because I said, why is this thing moving like that?
Yeah. And there's only literally not even an eighth of an inch on each side from it not touching the copper. So
Yeah.
any slight movement will set that off. So that's why you got to really be careful.
Hmm.
Is the trail camera, does that go off by movement?
Yes, it's a motion sensor trail camera. Yeah.
Hmm.
So when it went off, was it sensing the bell jar moving or the people walking by?
No,
I don't know. Play it again.
I'm pretty sure the clip that I had there, somebody walked by. They were to the left area, like to the room in the
Yeah.
left. But then I said, Why is this? Why is this tray starting to move on its own?" Because I looked at enough other clips of the camera in the same exact location. Um, yeah, I mean it's totally up for whatever.
Another thing, if it is something from weight shifting, it'll swing into it, but then it'll swing back to where it was. So it won't stay lit. It'll just swing and then go back to its original position. So it's really hard to tell. Can you play it again?
It is.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it one more time. Too much wind will just ruin any evidence collecting.
Mhm.
Unless it's in a bell jar, Casey. Oh,
Yep, you gotta
sorry
go.
guys.
Oh, sky just fell. Sky is falling.
Ah,
All right, I'll play it again. Here you go. Watch for the people in the little metal copper.
I think I don't know. I stand by. I'm skeptic. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm gonna have to say it's not.
It just
I'm gonna
for
agree.
the amount of clips of that exact spot and other people walk by. That's what I'm thinking. You know, it's like, why didn't this do that before? Is it something, maybe something reacted, or
Yeah.
was it just a weird vibration, the wind? Who knows? But again, that's where you need to be a skeptic, because everybody else who's watching this who is skeptical and wants to tear things apart, they're gonna destroy it.
Yeah.
It was the wind, it was a vibration. Somebody walked by, they bumped a wall, they did this, they did that. So
What does
yeah,
everybody else think that's watching?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, Casey. Exactly. Mhm.
Yeah. Me too, Frank and Casey. It's a good
Wait, my
discussion. You know
coffee?
what I mean?
Mhm.
It's all part of the paranormal field. It's all part of evidence. You know, we were even there, so we can't definitely say it was. Um,
Mhm.
so
Well,
I
I
think
think
that
it's important. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I think it's making ourselves vulnerable to just have that discussion, and you know, hopefully it's a learning experience for anybody watching this doing evidence, like really take into consideration all the different factors that could be influencing that.
Exactly. Yeah. If you
Because you
want to
want it to
present
be real,
evidence,
but sometimes it's just not. It's
yeah.
like you were talking about wanting to hear something,
Mhm.
um, and sometimes it just wasn't meant to be.
Mhm.
I'll show you the one we got when we come up, Dennis.
Yeah. Exactly,
It sure
Casey.
is, Casey.
Well, and the key, I think, if we're all claiming to be ethical investigators, we all need to get on the same wavelength, because the scientific community is really not going to accept anything, because we can't run a scientific experiment and provide repeatable results. So if there's a code of ethics that it's like, listen, we're going to follow this, yeah, there are a lot of variables. Uh, I think the probably the most common sense thing from my perspective would be, if you find something and you're not sure, then don't say, "Oh my God, look at this, look at that." Just say, "I'm not sure. What do you guys think?" I think that right there, because you're being open and honest and truthful, that anybody out there can look at it and say, "Well, you know what? They're not claiming it to be this or that," and
And
it
that's
just
tough
makes
with
sense to me.
pictures too. That's how I feel about pictures. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
you want to see something based on the shape, and it could just be the quality of the picture. You know,
And
um,
your mind imagining.
yeah. So in a future episode, I got a great picture to share that we got from the Civil War exchange this past weekend, and Jason and I had a heated debate about it. I love Jason, Marlena's husband. So we both had our opinions, but I think I'm right, of course. But I can't wait till we share it on a future episode coming up soon, and have the discussion, lay the setting. So
Okay.
that's a little
And
teaser for an upcoming episode.
Sounds good.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Casey. Keith and I bounce stuff off each other all the time. Casey's awesome. After Mingus Mill, like literally, Casey, I think I was putting together some stuff, listening to evidence, and he's messaging me. He's like, I think I got this. Listen to it, and he sends me clips. So it's pretty cool to get And then I'm like, yeah, I got it on my end too. I'm hearing this, and there's a fun factor to it, and
Is
it, it's really enlightening to get other people's point of views because like you said, you just might have the fog in front of you because you want to
yeah.
hear or see what you want to hear and see.
Yep.
So it's
Mhm.
really
And that's important then is to realize that in your own mind that we're all fallible. Hey, we can see something and be fooled. We can hear something and be fooled. But if you're being ethical about it, that's why I said if you're not sure, throw it out there and just say, listen, I'm not claiming this is whatever, but what do you people think? And I've had so much positive feedback from the time I've been doing this just by doing that same exact thing. And most
Mhm.
of the time, it's all negative. Oh, it's a shadow figure. It's dust. It's this. It's that. So whatever. Even if you believe, like, no, I was there and I saw this, and I know it was not dust. It was not, whatever. Uh, but I think it lends more credibility to what you're trying to do, and to build that ethics that I think all investigators should um, follow.
yeah.
Just get us all ethical investigators should be on the same sheet of music, and anybody else, it's like whatever. You're just trying to get your own TV show, and you will sensationalize, you will embellish, you will lie, you will fake, whatever. That's not why I do this. I do this because of my own personal experiences and because I know it's real. And my goal is to try to work with people who we can say, wow, we actually captured evidence and this stuff is real.
So yeah, right, Dennis. Um, so I think Keith, what we're working on next is Green County Poor Farm.
Yeah,
We were there. What was it? March or February? One of those. I don't know. It's all running together now.
it's on my list, Alan.
Yep. So we're working on that evidence next, and then we're gonna head to Mangus Mill, and then work on the Civil War Exchange stuff. So look for some more
Okay.
recent stuff. Um, Love to have some of our followers out there who are actually at these investigations. You know, it's great doing these events, and I love it because I remember Green County Poor Farm. Um, Dave Rowland joined us with one of his team members out there, but there was a couple that came out there, and I hope they're following us now. I think they are. That she came out there for a birthday present from her husband.
Mm,
So
yeah.
let me tell you, that dude scored some major points that night.
Oh yeah.
But she fell in love with it, and he did too. Like, it's just great to see people just get into it and they're engaged when we do our events because we don't just do a tour where we walk around and talk to you. People are involved. That's what
Mhm.
we want. I'm not there just to be an actor for you. I want you to be involved and see what it is to actually paranormal investigate. So
Yeah.
I remember that place. I can't wait till we get through that evidence and see what we captured.
Yeah, and that couple, I had the pleasure of, they were actually on our team,
Yeah,
Marlene and I, and I'll tell you what, they were so, the people that come out and go to our events that I have met, it's just been one positive person after another, and everybody's eager. They want to learn. They want to find out more about it. And this team with the experience, it's like we want to share. We want to do it ethically, and we want you to have fun and be safe. Okay. But yeah, I remember that gentleman and his. Were they married? Did you say?
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't even.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. And it was, yeah, I remember that, and they were fantastic to work with and talk to. So that's another joy of this, is just I've met some of the most wonderful people while I've been doing this, and that just makes it fun.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. All right, Sky. I know we're over time. Did we lose her again?
Sky.
Everything keeps freezing.
Yeah,
Can
I
you hear
know.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I keep freezing. I don't know. Aw, was she at the
Yeah.
Civil War Exchange with you guys?
Yeah, Deb was awesome at the Civil War Exchange. We ended up just doing one team because another couple did a free roam, and the couple was at Mangus Mill the weekend before and loved how we did the investigation. We communicated and had a plan. And Deb was at the event, the Civil War. She did awesome. Like she was engaged. Like she became a pro with the EVP player at the end. But asking questions, not even just what we were doing and why we were doing it, but asking questions during the experiment. So it's great. Thank you, Deb, for attending. It was really nice meeting you, and really hope you continue to engage with us. I mean, I love it that you're on here. So thanks for joining us.
Oh my goodness.
What are you
It's
doing,
frozen
Scott?
again.
I see you.
Her
See
internet
us?
is worse than yours, Keith.
What's that?
Her internet is worse than yours.
And that's pretty pathetic. Yeah.
All right. Sky's done. She's off the hook. She's off the rails, Casey. Off the rails. I'm telling you. Sky is falling. Yes, let's throw that up. See, I got to take over for her. She's in trouble. Because I don't know what else to do except for to show comments.
All right. Hold on. I'll be right back.
See, look, everybody's leaving me. Like, seriously. What's going on here? So, just a heads up, what we got coming up next. This weekend is halfway to Halloween at Hell House in Lehighton, Pennsylvania. It's going to be off the hook experience. We're playing the movie. We're doing daytime investigating with everybody, and then we're doing a nighttime investigation in the house from midnight to 2. Having food, sleeping over, having breakfast in the morning. So if you're interested in it, got nothing going on, check out Eventbrite. We do have some spots still open, but it's going to be something that you're not going to forget, and we're going to have fun doing it. Guy, you back? I know, right, Casey? I have to do everything around here, Casey. Let me tell you. My paranormal daughter there. I don't know what she's doing.
Alan, I'm back with you.
All right,
I'm
Sky.
here.
All right, Sky, wrap this double S up.
All right, I'm gonna do it quick before my internet goes out again. This was a great show. Thank you guys for joining us. I really hope you can hear me because you're all.
Oh, she
Oh,
froze.
gosh.
Hey, Alan.
Oh no.
You're good, Sky. Keep going.
Recommend DSL.
Okay. All right. Don't be so skeptical. Keep an open mind and come join us every Wednesday at 7. Check out on Third Eye Events Production. Here is the commercial. I'm ending this. Have a good night. Thank you guys.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.